Okay. I kind of let that play a little extra long, hoping you would thoroughly enjoy it. I forgot to set my camera up. It's probably going to be drunk, acting like out of focus, in focus, out of focus, in focus, that kind of thing. But nonetheless, hope you enjoyed the brand new PJ Net Live bumper video. Okay. Okay. There's a substantial delay between when I am talking and when you're actually hearing it. Okay. So it kind of, had senior moment. Sorry, this is a little late. I know that it's probably past bedtime for some of the people here in the chat room, Steve, and but nonetheless, I hope that this update will be worth staying up for. Okay. Love the bumper. Last night, I was going to kind of start retooling the PatriotJournalist.com website. I really did not want to do it. I'm serious. I was ready to find any excuse, but I found a great excuse. We have been working with two video editing softwares. Okay, Camtasia is the bread and butter of what I've been using. However, Corel has a very, very nice video editor that's hard to use, but has some very, very advanced features. Those two go hand in hand. As the features get more advanced, it gets harder to use. But anyway, so I went to the Corel.com website in hopes of obtaining a new download link and the license keys. Now, I actually went to their website and I register software. Yeah, all that, because see, you get an email with your license keys, and my email is in the cloud. Therefore, it is possible for me to find the logins and all that. So I could see where they had a record of the purchase back in 2016 or whatever, way back when. And went to their website, went on their chat, thinking, well, it's going to say chat is offline. No, Ching Peng Hao, or somebody named similarly, was available for live chat at the time. And I gave him the reference number, and he furnished me with a new download link for the video editing software and new license keys, which actually were the same as the old license keys. They didn't change. So I began downloading at about, midnight, 1 o'clock. Well, around 3 o'clock, the download was done. Video editing software is very intense. And so I figured, well, let me take this for a spin. It's much harder to use than Camtasia. Much harder. But it has the kinetic text that Camtasia doesn't have, And we had some really cool kinetic text software, but I can't find any email or can't find a Google search to find the company I had bought it from so I could try to get that relicensed. So I thought, well, let's give Corel a spin, even though it's hard. So that's the spin I gave it, that bumper right there. And I hope you like it, and it's kind of high energy and up-tempo. I like it. So we're making a little progress. Now, I still have to download the Camtasia video editing suite, but maybe that's tonight. I don't know. By the way, congratulations. PJNet has 2 new members today. Doug Mashak or whatever. If you will look on I'll tell you more about the RT button here in a minute. But anyway, he scheduled the tweets today. Barbara Sunbelt Girl has been harvesting tweets like a banshee. And I guess she will continue to do thusly. Now, let me fix this window right here. It's making me crazy. Okay. I just found out something. If you put the shortcut to start a program, if you got dual monitors, if you'll move that shortcut over to the monitor the second monitor, when you click on it, it actually opens in the second monitor. It's kind of neat. Didn't know that. Learn something every day. 2 new members. Jay Steins 3 signed up and scheduled tweets today. And hopefully we'll just keep picking up a few more and more and more. And we'll get going again. That's good news. Well, you know, I've been very fortunate, very blessed in that through all of this re-downloading and relicensing, I've been very fortunate until tonight. I had downloaded the FTP software that I had been using before, which was free. Well, today, FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. You know, when you do web work, you know, you write the code, then you got to transfer those files up to the web server so that people could actually see it on the website. Well, I cranked it up and it said, oh, your 30-day trial has ended. How would you like to pay $25? They actually wanted $35 or $39 or something for unlimited sites. Well, you know, or the standard version, which isn't what they had pre-selected for you. You got to go in there and say, no, I don't want that. I want the standard version for $25 that will allow you to connect to 3 sites. So 3 sites sounds good to me. And I'll just have to, anyway, $25 down the drain. Okay. So, but, you know, I mean, I knew some of that was coming. Now, what I really wanted to talk to you about tonight is something Glenn and I talked, and, you know, he and I can get in some pretty, passionate conversations. And he had an idea on scheduling retweets. Well, first of all, I said, you know, Glenn, before we make any enhancements, we might want to just get it working again first. Okay. And he, of course, he concurred. But he had an idea. But anyway, let me tell you some ideas I'm kind of kicking around because I'm going to be writing some code tonight, unless you tell me that I'm really off course and need to do something other than what I'm proposing right now. In the past, the RT scheduler has gone out and harvested retweets the same way almost when you click the RT icon next to the tweet button that you see up on the screen right now. And you can only get 100 or so tweets like that, and all of them, and by the way, the match also includes the retweets of the retweets, you know. So I had to actually do 2 fetches from Twitter to get that information to put it on the screen in the first place. And for those of you that don't know, there are rate limits on how many times you can perform certain Twitter API calls. You don't need to know what that means, but queries to Twitter in a 15-minute time frame. So every time you hit one, that was 2. We got 50 retweets or 50 featured tweets. So that's 100 fetches from Twitter just to do the retweets. And the rate limit is in a 15-minute frame. So I'm a little bit, and I won't tell you how I got around that. Okay, when we had hundreds of members, I won't tell you how I did it, but it wasn't a problem because I was clever in borrowing permissions from people to do silently things they didn't even know I did. And they're quite innocuous, so what? But I am a little bit concerned in the new model where you will be using your own Twitter app to do these. We could have some rate limiting problems. Okay. So I got an idea. Listen to this. On the RT button that is next to the tweet button, that will remain unchanged. You can go retweet anybody that has dispatched a featured tweet. But if you want to schedule retweets, I'm thinking about only displaying the tweets that have been dispatched by way of the tweet scheduler. Now let's think about that for a moment. The reason, one, that would lessen the number of possible people, the community, the pool of people that you could in fact retweet. More importantly, it would be an incentive, listen carefully, it would be an incentive for people to use the tweet scheduler. Because if you use the tweet scheduler, you would be eligible to get retweeted by way of the retweet scheduler. For those of you who aren't PJNet junkies, that probably sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But if you are here in the chat room, we all know what we're talking about. You're very familiar with it. So that way, I don't have to ask Twitter at all. I can look in my own database at the queue to see who has sent what. Okay? Would actually be so we could get there quicker. And no app permissions. Well, you would be required, although you'd have to be a member in the first place. But I'm saying that I wouldn't have to query Twitter as to, and then Twitter, of course, is, I'll be honest with you, their search is extremely sloppy. They themselves tell you that it is not an exhaustive search. Well, I can be pretty darn sure that what's in our database is, I can get it. Okay? So that's what I'm thinking about. Now, Glenn had an idea. Going back to the old model, remember how when you first started, you have a list of all the people that tweeted, so you click one and it turns it blue. Okay, so when you click on the next featured tweet, go find somebody to retweet, you don't pick the blue ones because you've already retweeted them, so you keep on and on. Well, that's fine at first, but when you get down to that 50th featured tweet, boy, you got to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. How about this idea Glenn had? Let's take the first one that was white, okay, that had, and let's float that sucker up to the top. Okay? That way, you can always very easily just click, 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 because the top one will always, well, not always, but, it eliminates all that scrolling, with a little wheel on the mouse, and then, because retweeting is kind of hard. If we go, which I'm convinced, unless somebody here can tell me why I shouldn't, if we go with the idea that you must use the tweet scheduler to be eligible to be retweeted on a schedule, that would encourage use of that, which means 30 days later they would be vexed with, shall I ante up and give PJNet some money? Well, if we have, it makes it easier, makes it faster. You'll retweet the same person more than once. They'll get I think there's some merit to the idea of giving people an incentive to use the tweet scheduler, and that would put some money in the bank. Okay, which we're gonna need, folks. And but so far everybody has been very hospitable concerning the model. But hey, it hadn't been 30 days yet, so we'll find out if they really mean it. That's all we got for tonight, unless there's something in the chat room. Hey, Leah, how you doing? Good to see you from California, our West Coast conservative anchor out on the left coast. And Leah, we'd be glad. It will be impossible to figure out how to gear up for the tweet scheduler, but if you will give me a call, and I will send you my phone number in the private chat, I will be glad to walk you through setting up your own personal PJNet, your own personal Twitter application, so that you can take advantage of the tweet scheduler and hopefully soon the retweet scheduler, and so on and so forth. Well, that is the update for tonight. I know it's a little late there, Hazards 4, so you can go to bed now, and Barbara will take the helm from here.